What's happening, baby?
Everything's happening.
It's all happening.
Undertones, getting this edition of It's All Happening, your musical journey of and through the world we live in, off to its energized start. I'm Andy Valeri, producer and host of the program, welcoming you and thanking you for making It's All Happening part of the soundtrack of your day. We're here for the hour, this audiophonic flagship of the Cultural Liberation Front, happening each and every week over your radio dials and internet streams, providing music and information for the whole family. No algorithms here. Music produced and curated by humans, for humans, and for our humanity. So let's get things amplified with some Hindu-tastic psychedelic soul groove from Kalyanji Anadji, with whom you just know.
It's all happening.
It was the author and philosopher Eric Hoffer who once noted, "Every great cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket."
Yeah!
I was almost a historian. I seriously considered being a historian, and while I was in the throes of this decision, I came on the idea that leaders amplify the mistakes. Their mistakes are amplified by the numbers who follow them without question. And charismatic leaders tend to build up followings, power structures, and those power structures tend to be taken over by people who are corruptible. I don't think that the old saw about power corrupting and absolute power corrupting absolutely is accurate. I think power attracts the corruptible.
I came home just the other night. The house felt like somebody was fighting. One last question I ask of you. Tell me why you do the things that you do, and don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. It's gonna come back on you. Stepped out just to fetch the news. You come home with a $2 bruise. Told me last week that you went and kicked in, but every day you're getting sicker and sicker. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. It's gonna come back on you. I made the mistake of making up words when there's something at stake. No good reason to ever do it. Holding up a wall, but anyone can see through it. Everything you do, everything you say, every little stupid game you try to play. Every waking hour, and even in your dreams, you're trying to make things that they don't seem to be. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Don't lie. Baby, don't lie to me. Don't lie, hey, don't lie to me, don't lie. It's gonna come back on, it's gonna come back on, it's gonna come back on you.
Renewed hostile actions against United States ships on the high seas in the Gulf of Tonkin have today required me to order the military forces of the United States to take action in reply.
We always hesitate in public to use the dirty word lies, but a lie is a lie. I mean, it's a misrepresentation of fact. And it's supposed to be a criminal act if it's done under oath.
You don't know me, but I'm your brother. I was raised here in this living hell. You don't know my kind in your world. Fairly soon, the time will tell. You telling me the things you're gonna do for me. I ain't blind and I don't like what I think I see. Taking it to the street. Taking it to the street. Taking it to the street. No more need for running. Taking it to the street. Oh, no, no. Take this message to my brother. You will find him everywhere. Wherever people live together. Tied in poverty's despair. Are you telling me the things you're gonna do for me? I ain't blind and I don't like what I think I see. Taking it to the street. Taking it to the street. Taking it to the street. No more need for running. Taking it to the street.
We will win this fight because we are many and they are few. We are the people, and the people do not want this genocide. It's only our crazed lunatic leaders who want it. They believe in unipolar hegemonic behavior. They do not believe in love. But I do, and so do you. We believe in love, and we will win this fight.
So they lied. They may hold that they lied for a noble reason, but they lied. They knowingly circulated information that they had no reason to believe was true, and that lie was amplified by all the most influential media outlets in the Western world.
Yeah, this is Tim Easton, and it's all happening, as you can tell.
And it is all happening, yes. sounds from East and West, including Tim Easton's Don't Lie from his excellent LP release, Not Cool, along with the Cupids from Japan doing their version of the Beatles' Ticket to Ride, and some classic Doobie Brothers with their increasingly relevant exhortations as to what we should be doing in our streets today. For more on what you're hearing on this program, please feel free to visit www.bigbeef.com. We've got lots more to come, so keep your dial tuned right here where
It's all happening.
Swing. It's swing, man. Everything is happening. They're swinging.
Tokyo invented time. Someone in a factory invented time. If people wanted proof to carry on, they'd like to buy one. $50 million watches with a strap to sell. 50 million watches with a strap to sell. If people wanted proof to carry on, they'd like to buy one. Sell out, that would be the end of, the end of, the end of time.
The Kinks went on the Come Dancing tour in the 80s. And I went to that show, and my friends and I went from Akron, Ohio to the Cleveland Coliseum, and we tried some stuff that night. I just said. It was the first time we tried some stuff. I think I know it. There's some experienced people in here. Descendants of Ukrainian artists in here that have tried this very same potion, maybe with rock and roll bands sometime in their life. Well, we went to the Coliseum. It's mostly all in the song, but we were listening to a lot of this band called the Dead Kennedys at the time. And the Kinks had a bit they would do where they would start out the... And the crowd would just go crazy. And I was out of my mind at the time. Basically what happened, he would do that and then he would go... The audience would go crazy and he'd be like, no, we're not going to play that song tonight. I started to cry. I feel like I might have told that story here because this is where it would warrant. It's just all these rock and roll heroes on the wall, and that basically is what happened. They eventually played it, and I stopped crying.
I met her in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes like Coca-Cola, C-O-L-A Cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her
can do for you, sir? Check your tape.
Ringside table, Batman?
Just lucky, thanks. I'll stand at the bar. I shouldn't wish to attract attention.
You're what's happening, baby.
Peace and love. Don't like it.
Hey, you guys come and catch my act sometime. I think yours.
Former U.S. State Department official and Time magazine editor Richard Stengel expressed full-throated support for the use of propaganda on both foreign and domestic audiences during a 2018 event organized by the supremely influential think tank Council on Foreign Relations. Basically, every country creates their own narrative story, Stengel said. My old job at the State Department was what people used to joke as the chief propagandist. I'm not against propaganda. Every country does it, and they have to do it to their own population. And I don't necessarily think it's that awful. Interestingly, years earlier, during his time at the U.S. State Department under the Obama administration, Stengel actually provided his own definition of what precisely he means by the word propaganda, and it's not nearly as innocuous as he makes it sound for his CFR audience. Propaganda is the deliberate dissemination of information that you know to be false or misleading in order to influence an audience, Stengel wrote in 2013.
Those are the wages of vacuous politics.
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before. Get some cups. Why did you do this? Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well.
The sounds and effects illustrated on this record are typical of those used in electronic music. Refer to the accompanying article, then listen to some basic sounds from electronic sources. Pure tone at 400 cycles.
Hunter Biden's laptop.
It's all happening. It's all happening.
must stop the terror. I call upon all nations to do everything they can to stop these terrorist killers. Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Baby.
What's happening now is the noticeable increase in propaganda from all sides, and we're engaging in it along with America and Britain and so forth, and it's to the point you don't know what to believe.
What are you doing here?
Bruce, come right away. There's a job to be done. A giant octopus has run amok in Washington.
Boy, Genius, this is one time you'll have to go it alone. Would you like to see me make my muscles dance, Miranda? Miranda! For someone powerful as me, it's no big task. Miranda! Ask me to do anything for you, Miranda. But please don't ask me to remove my mask. It's attached to my special super thermal V nuclear lung.
Congratulations on legalizing weed, Ohio. Well done. That's a change to,
And women's rights too.
And women's, basically, thank you, Ohio. Thank you for making us proud. What else do you guys do?
A lot of people don't realize what's really going on. They view life as a bunch of unconnected incidents and things. They don't realize that there's this like lattice of coincidence that lays on top of everything. I'll give you an example, show you what I mean. Suppose you're thinking about a plate of shrimp. Suddenly somebody will say like plate or shrimp or plate of shrimp out of the blue, no explanation. No point in looking for one either. It's all part of a cosmic unconsciousness. You eat a lot of acid, Miller, back in the hippie days?
Hey, it looks really good out there now.
Washington, London, Moscow, and Chongqing now framing their decision. When this decision will be communicated to Tokyo via the governments of Switzerland and Sweden, we are not told. That takes time.
Swing. It's swing, man. Everything is happening. He's swinging.
I mean, I was raised very much steeped in Jewish community. I went to Jewish day school. I have like 20 years of Jewish education. I did traditional Jewish text study in high school. And a lot of the values that I learned in that, I internalized some really beautiful values, right? There's this idea of pikuach nefesh in Judaism, which means saving a life, and it supersedes any other commandment. You are allowed to break any commandment if it means saving a life. We also say to save a life is to save the whole world. There's this idea of B'Tselem Elohim, that every person is made in the image of God. And So those values, in addition to the fact that Judaism is really steeped in a justice-oriented ethos, that we fight against authority. You know, Jews have been the victims of injustice, of legal injustice, of violence, of persecution, of displacement throughout our history. Right, so I feel that I am really living in my Jewishness, in the essence of what I was raised with, by standing up for Palestinians and by demanding their freedom.
Well, that's what it is.
It's all happening.
Know that it's all happening through you.
The world may never know.
When gun violence devastation occurs in the United States, I'm never surprised anymore. Our country has become numb to gun violence. It happens every day, and yet it's become so normalized that it fades into the background noise of our everyday news cycle. In the last few years, I have taken a personal oath to never become numb again. To work daily to change the horrific trend of gun violence in these United States. Unfortunately for most, it takes the death of school children to reinvigorate the movement. From Sandy Hook to Parkland to Uvalde, each time we think that this has gone far enough and that this has got to be the event that stops the carnage. But in each of these instances, there's one common theme that prevents change.
We need to use our collective power to send a very clear and loud directive to those in power. Inaction and complacency will not be tolerated. Our lives depend on it.
I do think you can win by clarifying the fight.
The mission of the Strategic Air Command is to be prepared to conduct strategic air operations on a global basis.
I do my best to absorb everything that's going on, use it for songs and poetry and writing, but there comes a time when you got to just shut it down and maybe just try to help someone one-on-one. I think that's the way to go. I'll go for chunks of time with no news at all, and I'll be like, that's it, no news, done. Not going to listen to the news. I'm done. Especially, during the pandemic time, it was like, I'm not going to listen to NPR or the radio because it's the news every hour in the hour. It's just like crazy bad news every time. Then I started just listening to classical music and jazz. Then I got to this point where I'm not listening to any songs with lyrics in it. I don't even want to hear a human voice, animals and jazz and classical music. And it was like, for a while, that was helping me. I guess I was going anti-human there for a bit, right? It's just like, then I was like, that's part of my escapist tendency. Right? That's why I go to Alaska. Alaska's a lot. There's just an escapist
It's all happening, baby.
all happening. The world has just been the way it's always been. We just think it's worse now maybe because there's more news about it. It's like, it's actually quite good now if you got it going on and you're, happy. There's plenty of joy in this world. There's plenty of joy. There's as much music as you want, much poetry and art to absorb, to make you happy. There's plenty of nature. Hopefully you can find some nature to go hang out in, some rivers to float down. But yeah, you could turn it into a bunch of, dark thoughts if you are letting that feed you. It's just like the saying, is it a Buddhist expression? Whatever wolf you're feeding is the wolf that's going to do better. And so it's really true. We will consume all this, and there's just tons more crappy news to watch. Whether it's real or propaganda, you can figure that out later. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It's like, it's there 24 hours a day, whatever you want, like all the news you want to support your thought patterns, whatever they are, maybe your political leanings or something. So it's all happening, that's for sure. It is all happening, and it's all happening all damn day. So if you don't get a meditation program or walk in the woods, you're going to just go batching, I think.
People are out there doing bad things to each other. It's because they're being dehumanized. It's time to take the humanity back into the center of the ring and follow that for a time.
You can't have it in every degree, from the cheesiest to the most exalted, because they all need to exist together. Without Louie Louie, a symphony is not quite so grand. You need all the different stuff for contrast. It all has a right to exist. It won't hurt you. It's music. It is an art form. Even if you think it's ugly, somebody else may like it a lot, and you don't have a right to keep them from listening.
I had so much fun with those dolphins. I had so much fun playing with those dolphins. I had so much fun playing with so much fun. I had so much fun playing with those. I had so much fun with those. I had so much fun playing with those dolphins. I had so much fun playing with those dolphins.
Listening to It's All Happening, your weekly provision of audiophonic antidote to the commoditized false flags of our culture. Brought to you by your friends at Big Beef Productions and Strategic Air Command, where giving peace a chance is our profession. Right now we have a strikingly cool version of East West, the classic Paul Butterfield Blues Band jam, being performed by The Third Mind, a musical collective featuring a powerhouse lineup of the likes of Dave Alvin, Victor Krummenacher, Jesse Sykes, and more. A band whose sound reflects the members' highly varied musical histories. Veteran players taking some older material and making it sound not so old. As for some of that other older material, we had Shonen Knife with their Moog Cookbook remix version of Twist Barbie, as well as The Ventures with their Mod East, both of these from a DJ Soundhog, aka Ben Hayes, cassette mixtape. DJ Soundhog being one of the best and certainly one of my favorite DJ mixmasters ever, who did some pretty groundbreaking work in what was, at the time, a fairly newly created field of, quote, mashup, a term I know he hates, around the turn of our now new, aging century. But that's his mix mastering work is phenomenal if you can get a chance to hear it. It's been on the BBC, etc. We also heard Tim Easton telling some stories at the Church of Ellen here in our neighborhood in Dayton, Ohio. Big thanks to Tim for not only coming back to the hood to play, but taking a moment to talk with us and give us a little of his own insights into what he feels is happening. For more on Tim, as well as all the material that you hear on this program, we invite you to go visit our website at www.bigbeef.com. Feel free to sign up on the It's All Happening mailing list to make sure you'll receive updates on when and where you can listen to new episodes, as well as other original program-related content. It's all about the content. Can we measure it? That would make it even more valuable, right? Content. Measure the content. After all, if you can't measure it, what good is it? Anyway, keep your radio and internet dials tuned right here, as there's much more to come here on your radio for the real freedom agenda. That is...
It's all happening.
Tonight be the night that Bruce reveals himself to the magnificent Miranda.
The Western world do not exist to inform, they exist to misinform, to create a compliant and obedient populace who doesn't interfere with the mechanisms of empire or the violence necessary for upholding it.
Think back, could I have prevented this? How could I have prevented this? And that's the question I still kind of, ask myself today.
I use music for therapy. I use my writing for therapy. That's 100% happening. The cathartic act of writing songs, it's a catharsis. There's something going when I can take potentially traumatic event, whether it's love related or just something really serious in this world, and I can help release it through writing. And that is something that I don't want to take for granted. It's something that songwriters have that not everybody has. But a lot of people got to bottle it up, and it just comes out sideways later in anger, So I do use that for real to let things, not bottle up.
I've rarely met a girl who's such a potent argument in favor of international relations.
I have a lot to say about politics. Some people don't want to talk about politics. They're like, NATO, why do you got to talk about politics? What do politics have to do with me? I'm not an immigrant, or a black person, or a Muslim, or a Jew, or a gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, or a woman, or an old person, or a young person, or a student, or a union member, or artist, or journalist, or scientist, or public employee. I don't breathe the air or drink the water. I don't live in a coastal region that'll be affected by sea level rise or an arid region that'll be affected by drought or fire. I don't like chocolate, wine, or coffee or other commodities that will no longer be available due to climate change. I'm not mentally ill, pregnant, disabled, or currently being shot at, so... What do politics have to do with me?
not for mortals like us to tamper with the laws of nature.
To It's All Happening, your weekly sonic venture into our world through music. I'm Andy Valeri, your producer and host, thanking you for tuning in and making It's All Happening part of the soundtrack of your day. This program tends to traverse all over the music sphere and infosphere, and so we invite you to go visit our website at bigbeef.com for more information about it all. If you like updates on new shows as well as on all the great material you hear on them, you can sign up on our It's All Happening mailing list via the Big Beef website at bigbeef.com. You can also contact us directly by email at radio@bigbeef.com. Special thanks to Tim Easton for contributing his words and music to the program, and a big thanks to all the great community-supported radio stations who help make this program available to you over your public airwaves. And thank you for listening. It's All Happening is a proud participant in the Cultural Liberation Front, which aims to further the forces of enlightenment of cool against the forces of evil uncool. So take care, be good to yourself and to those around you and to this world that we live in. Catch you next week, and always remember, it's all happening.
be a thing here, so maybe that means something for some of you, because we have roses in this image too. And the holding a rose as well. Oh, that's crazy. Yes, I think for some of you, the rose could be synchronicity.
How can we expect righteousness to prevail when there is hardly anyone willing to give himself up individually to a righteous cause? Such a fine, sunny day, and I have to go. But what does my death matter, if through us, thousands of people are awakened and stirred to action?
The preceding program has been a presentation of Strategic Air Command, a proud subsidiary of Big Beef Productions.
Ever wonder how Hitler rose to power in the first place?